Thank you, Speaker. I'm very aware that energy bills are causing pain for many small businesses and households in the Blue Mountains and Hawkesbury. There is some hope in the draft default market offer that's just come out, which shows the retail energy bill benchmark is stabilising and trending downwards after the biggest global energy crisis in 50 years. The default market offer is the maximum an energy retailer can charge customers on default contracts. It acts as a cap for prices for the coming year and helps people who haven't shopped around for a new electricity deal. For people in the Blue Mountains and Hawkesbury on the Endeavour Energy Network, there are residential reductions in prices of up to 7% in the latest DMO. Small businesses on the Endeavour network will receive a 4.4% reduction. Now, that's a good thing, but there is obviously much more to do. What it tells us is that the coal and gas caps that we put in place, which the Liberals voted against, are having an effect. Together, those caps and our rebates, that's the $500 rebate for households and $650 for eligible small businesses, and there's one more payment this financial year, those caps and our rebates, which the Liberals also voted against, entirely offset energy bills for some customers. The reductions are also a result of reduced international pressure. Now, we named it when it sent prices up, and we'll acknowledge it when it helps bring prices down. The decrease is also the result of a request to the energy regulator, with the Labor Minister for Climate Change, supported by state ministers, asking that the needs of consumers be prioritised, and they have been. And the reduction is also evidence that we're getting more renewables into the grid because it's simply a matter of fact that renewables are the cheapest form of new energy. And getting that new energy into the grid is our way forward. Last year alone, we saw 5.9 gigawatts of renewable generation added. Now, compare that to the 4 gigawatts added in the entire 10 years the Liberals were in government, and you might get the idea that 22 energy policies are not worth one good energy policy like the one we have. Since we came to government, we've had record investment in batteries and large-scale storage, with $4.9 billion in new financial commitments, 27 large-scale batteries under construction at the end of 2023, and more than 337,000 rooftop solar systems. We're world leaders there. The Minister for Environment has approved more than 45 renewable energy projects since coming to government and has another 128 before her for assessment. This is the energy policy we need. It will provide a secure and affordable energy future for Australians. Speaker, the 1.1 million Australians who suffer from an eating disorder and their families feel the devastating effects of these disorders every day. Now, thanks to a new report from the Butterfly Foundation, we have an insight into the economic and social cost eating disorders have on the wider community. I was joined by my fellow co-chairs of the Parliamentary Friends of Eating Disorder Awareness, the member for Goldstein and the member for Fisher, to launch the Paying the Price report recently. The impacts of these disorders are larger and more far-reaching than I think many people would expect. The economic and social costs of eating disorders are now $67 billion a year. That is the equivalent to $60,700 per person every year, with a cost to the federal government of $4.7 billion annually. An estimated 4.5% of the population are currently living with an eating disorder, with more than 10% experiencing an eating disorder at some point in their lifetime. The Paying the Price report also tells us that less than 30% of people with an eating disorder will seek help. In 2023, there were more than 1,200 deaths due to an eating disorder. That's more than 3 people every day. Any death due to an eating disorder is one death too many. The report outlines how financially debilitating these conditions can be, with individuals with an eating disorder losing an average of 10 days of work per year, contributing to lower than average wages and a greater likelihood of precarious employment. The total productivity costs to Australia are around $18 billion. These are financial impacts, and we need to do better in supporting people with eating disorders.